I know you heard me on the radio. Flexing, she loved the sound of my voice, it's the best thing. Daydreaming of the jazz all day. Pick up the phone late night with Larry K. I know you heard me on the radio. Flexing, she loved the sound of my voice, it's the best thing. Daydreaming of the jazz all day. Pick up the phone late night with Larry K.
Fury fam, welcome to another edition of LG Shaking the Panel. My man Greg is backstage. Shake is coming on soon. We know what happened Sunday, don't we? You guys saw my recap instant reaction video. We had another crappy game. Another game, though. 4 games in a row. Let's be honest. 4 games in a row. Well, 3 games in a row. Was that it? 3 games in a row? 3 games in a row. 3. Where our starting quarterback, the quarterback we came in with, was knocked out of the game, and we had to play with a different guy. And it's so silly because it was like, Teddy's the backup. We want Teddy to play because Teddy took all the practice reps. But then he gets hurt, so now Skyler comes in. But now Skyler looks good, so then Teddy's in concussion protocol because of a phantom stumble that no one saw, but everybody says they saw, but no one saw. And then so Skyler takes all the reps, and we're ready for Skyler to play. We're all hyped about Skyler. We're excited about Skyler. And then all of a sudden, Skyler goes down because he hurts his thumb. So then Teddy comes in, and Teddy looks rusty, but then Teddy is okay. The defense plays awesome against the Jets. They play awesome against the Vikings. Nonetheless, the offense can't do a damn thing ever. And then Sanders is missing 50-yard kicks. Maybe he shouldn't be kicking from 50 yards. Maybe he shouldn't miss them all. I don't know what's going on. We drop another one. We're down to 500, 3-3, which is never really fun when you start off 3-0. The damn New York Jets are 4-2, which is annoying. And, you know, that's really putting me in a bad position because I'm like, damn, how the hell are they surpassing us? We started off so good, but we're still in a decent position. And let's face it, guys, let's talk about the truth of the matter here. The most important thing is, and you listen to me a year ago, you wouldn't think I would say this. You listen to me even a few months ago, you wouldn't think I would say this. But, bro, it's Tua time, man. It's Tua time, bro. This Sunday, Tua's coming back. I saw the interview with him. I don't know if anybody saw his media availability yesterday or it was today. I think it was today. His media availability, man. Tua looks ready to play. He looks determined. He looks excited. I think the team's going to be excited about him. I think we have a lot of good things coming with Tua, man. He's coming back. He's going against Flo, who didn't believe in him, let's face it. Pittsburgh is not a very good team right now. It's at home. It's in prime time. My biggest concern, the thing I'm hoping for the most, is I'm hoping we get our injured offensive lineman back in the fold, man. It would be absolutely huge, and I never thought I would say this, to get Austin Jackson back, and it would be absolutely huge to get Armstead back because we need to protect Tua, man. We need Tua to go lights out and ball out, and I think he will ball out. But let's not ignore the fact that part of the reason our quarterbacks keep getting hurt, including him, is this offensive line, man. They got to do something about it, and I'm sick of watching it. And the thing I'm most scared of with this team right now is the secondary. I'm scared of the secondary, bro. Byron Jones, another week, he's not coming off pup. Now, Kohu has that day-to-day kind of week-to-week injury. You hope he comes back from that. Nick Needham out for the season. And that hurts not only because he was at least somewhat serviceable on the perimeter, even though he wasn't great, but because when everybody's healthy, he's actually one of the better slot corners in the league. He does a lot for our defense. He's one of the leaders, I think, in the locker room. It's tough to lose a guy like Needham, especially when we're already down that far. Iggy played okay. He played pretty good a couple times there. So let's see if Noah Igbenogany, man, can step up and maybe emerge because we're going to need him to step up with the way things are going. Last thing I'll say before I bring these two guys on, because Greg is just, I can see him. You guys can't see him, but he's hype right now. And I want to let him on. I want to let Shake on too. So one more thing. The only other thing is Mike Gesicki, yo. I told you, man, like the dude is a weapon. 2 touchdowns, a bunch of receptions in key spots. The dude is a beast. If you're going to trade him for something we really need because he has high value, go ahead and do it, I guess. But if not, bro, find a way to use Mike Gesicki. The dude is a weapon. He's showing you he's a weapon. And I hope McDaniel is now seeing how much of a weapon he could be and using him to the best of his ability because we need that. We need that. So I hope we see more of Gesicki, but I'm not going to waste any more time, man. I'm bringing these dudes up here. We're going to get the panel started early tonight. I'm tired. I've had a crazy week, so I'm going to let these dudes take a lot of it. But, yo, we're out here, man. Shake, Greg, what's up? What's up, fellas?
What's going on?
What's going? This guy's got. What do you got? What is that? A fine white wine there? What is that, sir?
Yeah, it is Sancerre Sauvignon Blanc from the Noir Valley.
Whoa. See, this dude has taste and class, and I could only dream of having such like finer tastes and proclivities. He's got the shirt on. He's an aristocrat. This guy. Greg, I love it. Greg, what's up with you, bro?
Not much. Just been another week in paradise up here.
Another week in paradise. See, I like that. Now you were getting pretty hyped when I was talking about Igbenogany. Do you have something to say about that?
That's what I wanted, man. We should have been playing him from the start. See what he's got. And if he sucked, we could have cut him and opened a roster spot. And right now, I love what I'm seeing from Noah. Hey, if we want to move on from Byron Jones at the end of the season, there's your guy right there, possibly.
Dude, yeah, and honestly,
it's only 1 week though.
And we know that it's only 1 week, so we already know. Like, we're not jumping to conclusions. He had the one, Mountie, what's up, bro? I'm gonna invite you on in a minute too. We had the one penalty early on as soon as he got in the game, but then he was in good coverage against good receivers. And I'll tell you what, I kind of like that.
Adam
Thielen, bro. He was guarding Thielen on him well, like in front of the ball, like almost got 2 picks, to be honest with you. And I like the long orange sleeves, and he kind of looks like, I didn't realize Noah was that big of a dude. He looked like a long corner. So if he can come up and he can play well, that's just great for the Miami Dolphins. So I'm hoping he comes on. We need him. Make no mistake about it. We need him. I mean, that is what it is. But listen, I want to just go real quick because this game Sunday is in my head. It's been in my head, man. We just about to go right into it.
The good. The bad. The ugly.
All right, tell us, Shake.
Right. The good, like what you were saying, Mike Gesicki finally got 2 touchdowns. I want to say his dances were good. I thought he was doing the soft shoe, but it turns out it was the gritty. I thought he was doing like that soft shoe, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
That's great.
But anyway, the bad, we're going to the bad. Now, the bad was the fact that this is the 3rd week that we didn't start with the quarterback and end with the quarterback. That's bad.
That is bad, bro. We got to stop that.
And here's the ugly. 10 freaking penalties, 5 in a row. Mm-hmm. We need to clean up. And here's the thing. Look, you're a lawyer, so let me tell you something. If a criminal, like if a mafia boss knows that the cops is watching him, he's going to go the speed limit. He's going to do everything by the book. So at the end of the day, if the Dolphins, if you know that the NFL is watching you, any little mistake that you do, they're gonna attack you for it, bro. So clean up your act.
I agree, bro. Like, the refs are on us, and it was funny because, yeah, you could say, and it's true, like probably a minor penalty happens on every play in this league every week, and they don't call it, but these were legitimate penalties, all except 1 or 2. It wasn't like they were phantom calls. Like, these dudes are playing sloppy, and the refs are going to be on you, so don't be sloppy. It's just like we got
exactly.
ugly,
bro.
You have, like I said, like I was saying you about the mob boss. If somebody, if he knows the cops is watching him and he's going and he's speeding every day, they're gonna give him a speeding ticket all the time because they're looking at him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. It's 100% true, bro. And that is ugly, bro. And Greg, what were you saying?
Yeah, I was at work. I was listening to TD. I had the NFL app open, and all I can hear was Skylar was making these nice throws, but then all of a sudden, I look at my phone on the NFL app. It says like a illegal man downfield, pass interference penalties, and I'm like, what's going on? I watch the game, and I'm like, what's going on with this team right now? Skylar's making these throws. Could have had a touchdown, but that was just awful. I was freaking out kind of at work. I'm like, what's going on? I wish I could see, but
yeah. No, dude, I was watching and like it got to a point where every play we had that was a good play, I was just waiting for the stupid flag icon to appear like on the broadcast. And sure enough, it did, dude. He had a play down to like the 3-yard line, and then another play like we got out of pressure and like winged it like perfectly down to like the 5-yard line, and then Hill got like a couple yards to put us in better position. Every play we had, we kept backing up. I think we went all the way to like the 20 or the 10 and wound up at like the 50. And then Skylar took a sack, and we couldn't, we were out of field goal range. It was just, yeah.
How about the game against the Jets where he scrambled out of his pocket, ran for a first down, and holding?
Yes, see, like the dude can't catch a break. I'll tell you what, the time he was in there, Skylar looked good, bro. Like that kid can play some ball, man. I'm excited about that kid, whether he's the backup or the future. Whatever. I feel good about that kid. He looks good. He looks ready to play. It's just the other team's got to help him. And it's the rest of the team's got to help him. And here's my thing is annoying is you prep so well. Your backup, your third stringer is playing that well. You still have star receivers, but you can't. And your defense is playing really well, and you can't score a damn point. Why?
Awesome.
So listen,
All right.
what you guys think happens this week? So first of all, I saw in the chat that Pickett is cleared the concussion protocol. So I think we're going to be going against Pickett.
Out
I
this
mean,
game?
just because he cleared the protocol doesn't mean he's going to be playing. You know what I mean? I think they're going to sit him out.
I don't know. I read that they're going to play him.
Oh, we'll see.
But I don't think he's great anyway right now. I mean, I'm not really scared. I mean, I look, I haven't felt this way in 4 weeks. I think we win this damn game. And I think Tua's going to come back and ball the hell out. I think Tua's had enough.
I think it's going to be a defensive battle. That's for sure.
Yeah, the defense is going to play. Yeah, for damn right. Yeah.
For both sides.
Yeah. Yeah. So, man, I don't know. I don't know. All I know is we better ball out this week because if we go 3-4, man, I might just lose my absolute head. I might just not be able to handle it anymore.
Yeah, just like TD was saying, these 3 upcoming games are must-wins for us.
They really are.
And I think if we lose to the Steelers, we need to be pressing the panic button. No more positivity for me, at least, if we lose to the Steelers. I'm going to be angry, negative, pressing the buttons, sounding alarms.
Yes. Sounding alarms, rattling things, breaking things, bull in China shop. I'm going to be, because I'm sick of it, yo. Like, because if the Giants can go 5-1 and the Jets could be 4-2 and all this stuff, then we have no excuse for being under 500. We better win this damn game. I do think we do with Tua coming back, but I just say we better. We better. Shake. You going to shake it up today or what? What are we doing, bro?
Yeah, we're going to shake it up. I got a couple of news stories. Number one, Brett Favre saying that Brett Favre and his head coach are not they're on the same page, but they're apparently reading different books.
Okay.
Because apparently at a press conference, Aaron Rodgers said we're going to simplify things and we're going to make things a little simpler. And when they asked the head coach McFleur about it, he says, "I don't know what he's talking about." So at the end of the day, they're sending shots at each other. Pretty much.
That's a mess up there in Wisconsin, man. I mean, the Jets went into Lambeau, and to be honest, bro, I was like flipping back to that game just to see kind of because obviously made sense for our standings and whatnot, and it was like the Jets were pretty much in control of that whole game, bro. Like the Jets were never really in danger of losing that game, and that's crazy to say.
Bro,
like,
this was a terrible weekend for me in sports. The Jets won, the Bills won, the Patriots won, the flipping won, and I hate the Yankees as a Red Sox.
Yeah, you're a Reds. I kind of like the Yankees. I just don't care so much about baseball. So it's like I could like that the Yankees won, but it can't get me as hyped as like if my football team wins. Like, so I just don't.
Dolphins #1, everybody else below.
Yeah, I mean,
I like the Yankees because they gave us a championship, the Marlins a championship in 2003.
They did. There you go. And then that's a helpful thing, for down there for the Marlins. But I don't know, man. And then, the Chargers one, which, like, I find myself now rooting against the Chargers just because I'm sick of hearing about all, like, the Herbert shit. So now I see him, and I'm like, they're not playing good. And Herbert, like, threw a bad pass. I'm like, ha-ha. And then there's the botched punt, and I'm like, come on. Plus, there are rivals for a playoff spot. And I'm like, why do all these teams have to win right now? It's driving me nuts, man.
Stop putting the Broncos on a prime time, please, NFL.
Yeah, oh, God.
Lions, Jaguars, 20 times on prime time than the Broncos right now.
Dude, and who the Broncos play this week? Is it the Jets? Because I think the Jets are about to win another game, bro. The Jets are going to beat them. Like,
Well, I think one of the reasons why Jaguars get a lot of primetime games is because they play ball with the NFL and they do a lot of London games. So
Yeah.
it's one hand washes the other.
I could see it.
And as a
man.
matter of
I could
fact,
see it.
one of the ways we were able to get that Super Bowl bid is we had to play that game in London. That was one of the requirements when we got that Super Bowl bid in 2020.
I knew that. Yep, I knew that. I read that. And my Revo in here says Mets, Knicks, Rangers. I'm a Devils fan, man. But whatever. We have Finns in common, bro. But
I have one more story.
Oh yeah, sorry, Shake. Go ahead. I'm just getting carried away.
Owners out of favor. Apparently, Jim Earns, the owner of the Colts, says there is merit in forcing the Commanders owners to sell the team. He said this in an owners meeting yesterday. He came out. I saw the footage and everything. He says that there's merit, and they asked him, just him or the family. He says, no, just sell the team.
Wow. Well,
So-
look, the thing is, I've seen more. See, I've been tuned out a little, so I've seen it like in the background of my TV and whatnot, like when I'm trying to work. Something's going on with Snyder. Like, is that the only thing that Irsay said he wants him out, or has another scandal erupted with Snyder? I don't know. I've been following it. Like,
all I know is he says there's merit. So as long as if there's 24 owners that agree with him, 23 other owners that agree with him, he's out. But before that, Snyder says, "Hey, I got dirt on everybody. Jerry Jones, the owner of the Giants, and even Roger Goodell." So he says, "Don't f with me."
I believe he does, though.
That's why I don't think he's ever going to sell the team.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to want that information to come out, because I think if Snyder, if there's any truth to what he has to say, that could ruin those guys.
Right.
Not only in the NFL, but they're personal lives, but that's just me speculating.
No, but I think it makes sense, Greg, because another thing that happened when the whole John Gruden thing came out, one of the things he said was like, oh, you're showing my emails, but what about Schneider's emails? What about, like, if you guys have these emails and you have the guy I was talking to, and, like, the whole thing with Ross, and, like, I'll be honest with you, and I've said this on this show before, and I'll say it again, and I'm a big fan of the NFL, and obviously the NFL allows these franchises to flourish, which allows us to have a show, and it's a whole big industry, and I understand that, but I'm not a big fan of, like, Goodell and the way he runs it. He's running it like a corporation with dirty tricks and behind-the-scenes crap, and, like, this is just indicative of how they do things now, and it's, like, it's just slimy. And I actually read that Jerry Jones was talking about, like, something about Goodell's deal. Like, I can't wait for the day Goodell is out, and I know the owners love him because he protects them and he made it some conglomerate. But even his stuff about having, like, a division in Europe, I'm not against Europe or anything or playing games there. They got a lot of good fans, but I don't know. Some of it just screams of commercialization. I'm not a fan of Goodell and the way the owners – I feel like owners went from, like, football families that cared about football and were, like, football invested people to just, like, these hedge fund super rich investor class. And it just kind of screwed up the game. And I don't know. The whole thing gives me a bad taste, yo.
Yeah,
Well, look at the Rooney family, man. The Rooney Pittsburgh Steelers is the only team that doesn't have cheerleaders. They don't have pyros. It's just football. You know what I mean? They care more about the working class than they do the guys with these deep pockets. Like, if you look at Hard Rock Stadium, some of the lower seats, they're your average working man can't afford it.
Yeah, and Greg,
I think that's sick, bro.
I'm gonna say something to that too, Shake. But Greg, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, so if Goodell wants to do like an European league, what I think would be better, instead of having, the American League and the Europe League, and then they meet in the Super Bowl, instead of doing that, I would do like a separate league, like a developmental league, like NFL Europe, like a Europe League.
I like that. Yes.
Like you could have London Dolphins, Barcelona Patriots, like stuff like that, and it's like the practice squad players, some youth players, and then let's say like Tua goes down with injury, and let's say the London Dolphin quarterback's doing good, we can call him up, be a backup, maybe be a starter, stuff like that, because you can see if the concussion protocol, if they're gonna change it to where if you get one concussion, you're out of the game or whatnot, and you got to miss a couple games. I think that could, work. But I think that would be better. But I don't make those decisions. But
no,
I would personally go with.
I actually like it too, though, because every other league, hockey, baseball, they have those type of two-way contracts in those developmental leagues. Shake, what were you saying?
You know what I was just thinking about right now? You know what would be really cool though? If they say they do a European league, a legit European league, and they play around the same time, and the winner, their Super Bowl winner plays our Super Bowl winner to be world champs. So now our Super Bowl winner, who's better, the European League or the American League?
Well, that's kind of cool too. Like that's a real world champ. And Canada's got a league. Why don't we merge with them if they want to expand? I mean, NBA and hockey and baseball did. I mean, we can do that too. I don't understand. And to your point before, Shake, about the price of seats, like that really irks me too, because what a lot of these owners are doing, they're doing it in Buffalo. What a lot of these owners are doing is like they're having the taxpayers foot the bill of a large part of these arenas and stadiums because it's supposedly a public amenity, which it is and can be because it's a catalyst for economic activity, etc. But then they're selling these ridiculously expensive licensing, one-time licensing fees and these ridiculously high-priced season tickets so that corporations are the primary, customers of it. It's like, so you're basically pimping out your own community with tax dollars to turn around and sell to the corporations. Now, Ross paid for the renovations to the stadium, but that's only because Miami wouldn't do it. That's only because they wouldn't do it. And it's just, to me, it's just a bad taste in my mouth how corporate it's getting. That's why you have a lot of people don't realize a lot of these stadiums, when you watch on TV, they're looking at those mid-tier seats and why they all look empty. The reason they're all empty is because those are like box seats and everybody's in the suite or at the bar. They're not in their seats. And those are a lot of corporate boxes. So it looks empty. You go to the old footage of the Orange Bowl and still Lambeau and still, the Steelers, Heinz Field, they're filled because it's more working class people. The Rooneys, bro, respectable family. He was the ambassador to like Ireland. Like these are legitimate people who have been doing this for a long time, who have respect. And then you have this investor class who I don't think really respects the fans or the game at the same level, and all they're worried about is their pockets. And it just leaves a bad taste in my mouth, man.
And one thing I want to say too is the owner. I don't know who the owner of the Atlanta Falcons is, and good for him for me not knowing who the hell he is.
I think.
Yeah. Anyway, I was just taking a shot at Ross because I don't know who the owner of the damn Falcons is, because he makes it a point not to get his big old Dumbo ears in front of the camera. But anyway,
he saw that, right? Ross is coming back this week.
Our stadium. But our point is, when he made the stadium, right, he made it a point to make the concession stands the cheapest in the league, right, for that reason, to make sure that the fans are getting a good experience when it comes to their stadium.
That makes sense, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I can only probably go to one game a year. I haven't been to a game since I was in like 7th grade.
Wow.
That DC game when we played the at the time the Redskins. I don't know if I but I have to go to games now because not only do I got to pay for the tickets, I got to pay for airfare because I don't want to drive. Like driving is like 20.
No, I get it.
From where I live to Florida, it's 24 hours, and on top of that, it might be even longer going to Miami. And then I got to potentially pay for a hotel. Got to get food. And then if I go to the game, I might want to get something to eat. Like, it's just too much money to be spent.
Yeah. No, it's expensive. It's an expensive endeavor. When I went the other day, I waited in line at the Jets game for like an hour to get a beer and like some cheese fries, and it was like $30. And I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Like, that's why we tailgate. And by the way, this young man, we're going to be seeing him. He's coming back. Look at him, Magoo. Just look at him, Mr. Friggin' Magoo. There he is. Like, I gotta get him off the screen. I gotta get him.
I mean, what makes me depressed is I did some research on him, and he was an undergrad. He did his undergrad in Florida, so he's technically a Gator.
Did he do his undergrad in Florida?
Yeah, he did 2 years. He did his undergrad in Florida, then he transferred to Michigan to get his master's.
Interesting, because I knew he would spend some time in Florida when he was younger.
As a matter of fact, no, he lived in Florida because his dad ran out of business, so he had to stay with his grandparents. You know that you remember Scarface? I know you've seen the movie Scarface.
Of course.
That place. Remember that scene where his partner gets slapped because he stuck his tongue out? It was like a nice hotel.
Yeah.
When he was younger, he used to work at that hotel.
Oh, shoot! What hotel is that?
It's called the Fontainebleau.
Oh, yeah, I know of that hotel. Yeah, I know. In that scene, he's like, He's like, oh,
Yeah.
you know what girls want
Yeah.
to see, and he like has his tongue. He's like, you want to see something funny? Watch this guy. He's gonna stick his tongue out to that girl, and then he does.
She slaps his ass.
He's like, see what happened
Yes,
to him?
yeah, he was a pool boy at when he was growing up. He lived in Miami for a long time because his dad his business went out of business, so he had to live with his grandparents in Florida.
Wow.
So I did research on him.
Well, so this guy's researching Magoo. I'll tell you, I know about I ain't gonna tell it again. The damn job he did over here at Hudson Yards and that stupid vessel. Everybody's killing themselves. He don't fix it. But you know what? That's our owner. So we're gonna see him in the box on Sunday night, and it is gonna be what it is. I know they're gonna show him because the commentators are gonna be like, "Oh, there's Stephen Ross, suspended for 5 games, comes back with the quarterback Tua," and he's gonna be sitting there with his friggin' big ears, like talking to somebody, drinking a freaking beverage. I can't take Stephen Ross. But whatever, I'm not a fan. I just can't be a fan of him. He's
We're
just
gonna be
a
wearing our
weird guy.
backs too.
And I'm gonna tell you something else that's even more depressing. Had the Johnsons not bought the Jets, he was next in line.
I know, bro. I wanted him to buy the Jets. See? Now you're getting Greg mad. When Greg
Bro, it would have been funny if he was with the Jets. They'd be losing every year.
I know. How hilarious would it be? They'd be going through the scandals, and they'd have the green carpet and all that crap.
But you know what? But here's the thing. To be fair, if he was with the Jets, at least he would be at the facility because he's more connected with New York than he is with Florida.
He's in
Let's
New
be
York all
real.
the time, bro. He flies out of Teterboro Airport right here in Jersey, and he only goes there for a few games to Miami, for the game, and then he comes back here. He lives up here. I don't get it. But that's Stephen Ross, Mr. Magoo. He's coming back, and we're gonna live with him.
No thing to Stephen Ross, but if I'm Stephen Ross in his shoes, and I bought the Dolphins, I would have packed everything up and moved to Florida and restarted, maybe open up a new business and whatnot, But I'm not Stephen Ross. And I don't make those decisions.
See, and you don't. But if you would just devote your time to that. But
yeah,
I'm kind of happy he's not because he'd probably be bad at it. He's just bad at it anyway. I just don't like how he comes in, interviews the coaches, and gets so hands-on with the coaches, but on the day-to-day, he's not even involved in football operations. So how are you the one who hires people? Like, I don't get it, bro. Like, and we see D-Rod here. I'm going to the game this weekend from Jersey. He says airfare, tickets, hotel, and car rental, $1,500 easy. Yeah, it's expensive, man. It's expensive.
Yeah. If I were to go to the game, I'd probably just go to hopefully find. If I were to go to a Dolphins game, I would probably go to There's probably a lot of Dolphins fans on YouTube that do tailgates. I'd probably just go to one of them,
dude,
hang out, get something to eat.
Hell yeah, that's the way to do it.
Money.
That's the way to do it. You gotta, bro. Tailgating is where it's at anyway. Tailgating, especially in the fall. Now up here, it's like fall weather. It's like perfect, bro. It's like crisp air, and you're drinking some beers, and you got something on the grill, and it's smoky, and maybe you got a fire pit somewhere. Just don't leave your grill on in the car because we know what happened in Miami, bro. How many cars? Like 7 cars are just like a little flame. It was crazy. That's
11,
nuts, man.
Yeah, when I was in DC, me and my dad, we didn't tailgate because we was staying at my uncle's house in DC, and then we took a train straight to the stadium. So we just walked basically to the stadium.
Yes.
Yeah. I did get my jersey signed though when I was little. I don't remember who signed it. It was some no-name player. I wanted Wake, I wanted Sue, I wanted Tannehill to sign it, but it was just some no-name. I don't remember who it was, but shout out to that dude. He made my day, kind of.
Dude, I got a hat. I'll bring it out in a minute. I got a hat with Wake signed it. Wake signed it. Pennington signed it. Fasano. I went to practice down in Davie when they were in Davie at the practice facility. And what was the name of that school, Shake? Remember they were practice at a college down there in Davie.
It's Nova University.
Yeah. I went there.
As a matter of fact, Wayne Huizenga had a school. You know how Ross has a school of business in Michigan?
Yes.
Wayne Huizenga has a school of business in Nova.
That makes sense. Yeah, so I went down there and I got a bunch of autographs on that hat. I'll show you in a little bit. I forget who else, but I had some decent guys in there. I know I had Wake, and I had a couple other dudes that were good players. I think Reggie Bush signed it. So I had some good autographs on that hat. I'll bring it out in a minute. And thanks, D-Rod. I really appreciate it. Guys, if you haven't clicked subscribe yet, I mean, it's right beneath us right here. Especially if you tune in every week, even if you're just stopping by and you like the banter, smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, share the video. The super chat's open, by the way. You want to show some love to the channel? We always appreciate that too. But anything else from you two guys before I post the link in the comments to let the other people on to say their piece?
Yeah, the only thing if you're in the comments section, man, you better come up, bro. Crypto Dolphin fan.
There we go.
Hopefully he comes up, man. So same thing with Von Joe, but if he's working, I understand.
Got you.
I got 3 things. Jason Sanders. If you can't kick 50-yard field goals, I understand because I can't kick it. But you got to start. You got to go back to money, Sanders, bro. Emmanuel, you got to step it up, bro. We just paid you big. I don't know if he's being held. Sometimes it looks like he's being held and not calling it. But he needs to step up. Cedric Wilson, this guy, we paid him too. I don't know where he is. I don't know if we got better receivers than him right now. He's got to step up because to me, those 3 players right now are basically robbing the Miami Dolphins without a massive run right now. So they got to step it up.
And by the way, I just want to say, Greg, Jason Sanders is money Sanders. Unfortunately, it's monopoly money.
Bro, I don't know. He was so clutch, and it just sucks. Even if he's just average now, it sucks because we thought he was well above average. It's just like, why us? Why does like one of the best kickers in the league have to go to like average? Why? Like the next 2 years later, like if he was still money Sanders the way he was 2 years ago, bro, we might have won both those last 2 games because the entire trajectory and feel and context of the game changes if he makes those 2 long field goals instead of the team getting it on the 50 and driving back down. I mean, it's just.
If he was money Sanders last year, we would have won the Atlanta and the Jacksonville game.
Yeah, so it's been 2 years where he hasn't been. It's just like what happens to somebody where they have like a career Pro Bowl year and they don't. And Greg, with Wilson, I've been thinking the same thing. I'm like, yo, he's another weapon. Use him. What are we doing? And then Agba, we have been lacking for a pass rush. Maybe that's part schematic. I don't know.
Well, my dad always says whenever the Jason Sanders has missed a field goal this year, he says what they need to do is bring a kicker in every single week and have him compete with Sanders. And then if Sanders doesn't suck, cut him, trade him, whatnot, and put that kicker in. Have a little competition.
Yeah, maybe that's the way to go because he's very secure.
But every NFL team should do with that kicker. Bring a kicker in every week to practice. Have a competition every week. Even if, let's say, Justin Tucker, he kicks like a lot of field goals. Why not bring in some competitions?
No, you're right, dude. You're right. And then we say. Sports Fanatics is saying, and we know who that is, says his rib's been messing with him, Wilson. So maybe Wilson has a rib. Maybe that's the problem with that.
I don't know.
I could see that. I just dropped the link too. So let's see who comes on the panel tonight, man. I know John can't make it because he's working. I'm not sure about some other people, but let's see what kind of panel we get tonight, man. I think it's gonna be, God willing, man, it's gonna be a turning point for the season here. We got to get back on track this week. Primetime game. Tua's back. I mean, there's really no reason. Yeah, I mean, come on, we gotta get back on track. Mountie, what's up, bro?
Hey, what's good, fellas? How y'all doing?
Chilling, bro, chilling.
Hey, I don't know how y'all feel, but look, Mike McDaniel, he's a great guy. He brings a lot of a hearty cheer to the locker room, and he encourages his players to talk to him and be able to converse with him based on what their concerns and issues are. However, the guy is clear. To me, he seems to me like he's kind of missing Kyle Shanahan. If you know what I'm saying. Because you got to remember, they're besties. They've been together their whole careers.
Yes.
They designed their offense together, so they work off of one another. So right. I can't even imagine. I can't imagine.
They like Bert and Ernie.
I can't imagine Kyle Shanahan not utilizing Mike Gesicki. I don't care in what way you need him. Right. Like the guy is 6'7", 6'6", can jump and touch the top of the stadium. He's a matchup nightmare for any DB. Show me a DB that he cannot jump over.
Right.
I mean, dude, I can't understand. Like, are you willing to cut your nose off to spite your face because he's not a good blocker?
Well, that's what I'm wondering.
To me, that's a fireable offense. Are you kidding me?
I've been saying that.
Bro.
And now that he showed out, I want to know, are they going to use him later? Because what's going on? Go ahead.
But I'm the guy. I can't deal with the go along, the good along, the goody two shoes type persona with him. You know, just like when I was in the military. I spent 22 years in the military.
Okay.
And
what branch?
I was a Navy.
Oh, okay.
And
All right, shipmate. I was a Navy too.
okay, so I was a chief, division chief, okay? Look,
Yeah.
that's the first thing when I do my introduction. I'm like, look, I'm not here to be your friend. I'm in a leadership position. My job is to do a job to make sure you're doing your job and to help bring the best out of you to make you better. So Mike McDaniel, I don't think he's look at the penalties. This is ridiculous. That's just a lack of discipline.
The penalties is a
And, you
problem,
know,
for real.
And one thing I want to piggyback off too is when Flores was here, one thing he always harped on was the fundamentals. So when you play with good fundamentals, you won't be doing poor tackling. You won't be doing poor blocking. When you practice with good fundamentals, everything. If you can't master the fundamentals, no matter what it is you do in life, you're not going to master anything else. If you don't master the basics of your craft.
Absolutely. Especially like Eichenberg and Greg Little. Dude, when I used to coach football, we teach this at grade school. Dude, shoulders over knees, knees over toes. You look at Brandon Shell, you look at Eichenberg, you look at Greg Little, the technique is horrible.
Man, that's apple bound. So let's see.
Yeah,
I hear you. So let's go. Let's go. We got no gaslight. I want to give him a chance. He's been hopping in, and then we're gonna go Snapper, and then we're gonna go Alex, man. So I want to give everybody a chance. Welcome on No Gaslight Zone. What you got to say, brother?
This is me, Crypto. But hey,
okay.
good panel.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
But yeah, how's everybody doing? That's good. I
Hey, what's
agree
going
with.
on,
What's up,
brother?
Crypto?
What's going on,
Yep.
Crypto?
What up, Monty?
Yeah, I was agreeing with what Monty had to say there. So he's spot on there. He's got, you can't be, there's a saying, there's some cops that supposed to be kindergarten teachers, and there's kindergarten teachers are not all meant to be cops. So, if you cut out for the job, you do the job. No excuses. You have to be. You can't always treat everybody with kid gloves. Some people need that disciplinarian that's gonna light a fire in the stoke under somebody. That's gonna get the best out of that individual. And everybody's not successful in doing that. Doing it that way. So they try to put on the kid gloves and try to baby people. And some people just doesn't need that. Some people are good at both. Actually, be honest with you, Jimmy Johnson was good at both. He can baby you and he could be a disciplinarian. It just all depends on the individual player. It went from he did it based on the individual player.
That makes sense. It's valid criticisms to question some of the way things are going with McDaniel right now, because we got to see how the season turns out with these penalties and things. And if he's just unilaterally, categorically treating everybody with kid gloves, we don't know that. But if he is, that might not be the way to go. You got to be able to address certain players in specific ways, Crypto. So that makes a lot of sense. I appreciate that comment. So Snapper, what up? Snapper not there.
Hey, what's going on, Larry K? What's going on, Larry K? First time here, man.
Thanks
great panel you have here.
Well,
thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. You giving me time to speak here. No, I agree with pretty much everything is said. I think when you do not apply the fundamentals that you're taught at an early stage of your football career, whether it be Pop Warner, with high school, whatever, when you're not applying fundamentals to your game and your every Sunday, it don't matter what day it is. If you're not applying it, you're not doing your job. And sometimes it's not completely the player's fault. I agree with what you guys said. It falls on the coaching staff. That's their job. Your job is to is to make sure that the players are well coached, to make sure that they fully understand the fundamentals, techniques, things that they need to and things that they need to stay disciplined throughout the course of a long season. And if you don't have those things, this is not going to help you. This is going to get you in trouble. It's going to hold your team back, whether it be penalties or what have you. And these things translate to overall holding your team back. And also, another part of the job of of the coaching staff is to make sure that your players execute your game plan as you ask them to. And if you don't have a coaching staff that's not holding these players accountable, where they're not executing the game plan the way you want them to be, that is a problem. And this is what I've seen from what Monty Fizz has said, that this is a problem that you've seen with this coaching staff, that with the last coaching staff, with all its problems, they did a better job overall than Mike McDaniel has to make sure that this team stays disciplined, to make sure that they have good understanding of the fundamentals, to make sure that they keep their head in the game and not lose their head. And I think that that's been the total. This has been night and day between the two coaching staffs, and the Dolphins. When you look at the grand picture, they didn't lose these games because they were outmatched by their opponents. They're pretty much lost because they shot themselves in the foot. They were dumb, untimely penalties that stalled drives. There were key turnovers that gave them their opponents short field position to work with, and gave them opportunities to score when we didn't need to. Because our defense, when you look at our defense held the Jets to 17 points throughout the whole game. You look at the game against the Vikings. They did a good job holding what was supposed to be a high-powered offense to just 17 points, and it was just our mistakes, our penalties, our fumbles, just our quarterbacks holding on to the football too long, not knowing when to get rid of the football. Those type of mental mistakes are the reason why we're 3-3, and that's the big problem. And if Mike McDaniel is not addressing this and getting these guys in the locker room or having meetings and just being on their butts, if they're not on their butts, making sure that you guys got to do this better, and making sure that they're in the film room and pointing out mistakes and just trying to get better as a team overall. They're not doing a good job of this, and this is why we're failing. We have to hold this coaching staff accountable, and that's what we have to do as fans. Especially, we're spending money to go see these players, play this game of football.
No, I hear you.
I think now that Ross is back, now he can have contact with the team. I think there's going to be. I think, especially, and God forbid, God help us, if we lose to Pittsburgh. There's going to be a round.
That's
coming
the guy.
to Jesus moment. I guarantee you, Ross, Greer, and McDaniel, Ross, McDaniel, and Greer are going to have a nice little talk.
They are going to be chatting it up.
They have to, because remember, Mike McDaniel has to remember that he's on the hot seat, because if he doesn't, get this team to the playoffs and get them to execute well, bro, look what's looking at the horizon. Guess what? Look what's on the horizon. It's Sean Payton
or Jim Harbaugh.
There's, what I'm saying. So there's a potential replacement for him in the future. So he's kind of on a short leash in a way.
Don't think for a minute that Stephen Ross won't do it. Let's
just keep it real. Let's just keep it real, Stephen.
I don't believe he's
Stephen Ross at all. I think. Well, I tell you what. I know that's one thing as a fact. Stephen Ross wanted Sean Payton, but I think Greer basically talked him into descending onto that to go after a guy who they say who can fix our running game.
And the reason why
and that hasn't happened now. I think McDaniel too. We thought he would surround Tua with the right tools and make Tua better. Now we're in a weird, complicated situation, because even if Tua looks better, if he's failing in coaching in other aspects, and I'm not saying he's there yet, but if he does, what do we do? Like, it's such a weird situation what they did. I don't know. Whole thing is weird.
Yeah, and
by the way,
you got to remember.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me say,
Shake.
Hold on. So let Shake go, and then I want to hear from Crypto, and then I want to let Alex on, because he hasn't said anything yet.
Go ahead.
Hey, by the way, I just want to piggyback off what he's saying. One thing I remember vividly, Kimbo Kemper, he's one of my favorite. When he used to do a show called The Audible, I was a weekly listener. As a matter of fact, he used to butcher my last name whenever I asked a question, but that's neither here nor there. one of the things he said was when Adam Gase was coaching, and he says there was a game that they won, and they had bad penalties. He says, "Hey, what do you think about what you had these penalties?" However, he goes, "I'm not worried about the penalties." Kim Balkamper says this guy ain't made for long.
Mhm.
You're not worried about penalties. You're not going to be coaching long in the NFL, man. And unfortunately, I'm hoping that McDaniels isn't like Adam Gase, who doesn't care about the penalties, and hopefully he cleans those up.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Go ahead, Crypto.
Yeah, because this is what have you done for me lately, League? I use this analogy prior to the hire. I said basically the standard has been set. You don't fire somebody, the previous regime, and intentions to go backwards. You fire because it's always the hope to go forward and have an improvement. I never met anybody who told somebody, I'm firing you because I want a downgrade. McDaniel is expected to be the upgrade of just by definition, his hire alone, because you got rid of the previous guy. So the expectations is for him to exceed what the previous regime had done. And if don't think for a moment, if he didn't exceed and what the previous regime has done in Stephen Ross's eyes, it's definitely going to be a short leash because that guy, and unfortunately, time is ticking on him. So he wants to win now. So he would definitely pull the trigger and say, hey, what's trying to get somebody that's going to get the job done because the table is set. Right. I used this analogy before. He's born on third base. The previous regime was born in the dugout. The table is set. You have expectations to hit a single so you can get everybody home. Yes. That we got a roster that's stacked. So the expectation is there. You have to do better than the previous regime. And that's agree. Just the expectation.
Hey, and you even add more to that because you keep your defensive coordinator, you keep a lot of pieces, so it proves that you expected to go right to the top right now. You weren't going backwards on a full rebuild. That's the truth. I want to give Alex a chance to talk, though.
Correct.
He's been sitting patiently. Alex,
because you kept some of the pieces before. Yeah.
Yes. What's up, Larry? What's up, guys? Hope everybody's having a great day. Larry, thanks for having me on, bro. I really appreciate it, man.
No problem.
Hey, Alex, it's good, my boy.
What's up, Alex?
What's going on, guys? The thing is this: with a lot of things with McDaniel and stuff like that, and of course Tua. The thing is, McDaniel, I don't believe he's on a short leash. He's a rookie head coach. He's just getting his feet wet, with this team. And even I believe that even if this team does not make the playoffs this year, but they finish with an above 500 record, I still think he's going to get another year out of it. He's going to get another year to turn this thing around.
If you get
although I respect your opinion, However, you have to think about Ross wanted Peyton from the beginning. He gave Greer the benefit of the doubt. He gave Greer probably the benefit of the doubt because Greer.
That's right.
Because you got to remember when this is the main thing that I wanted to bring to everybody's attention. Maybe they overlooked when McDaniel was in San Francisco. He had an exceptional offensive line, which made his system work. When he was in Atlanta, he had an exceptional offensive line. When they went to the Super Bowl and they lost, but they had an exceptional offensive line.
Right. Yeah, and
they had
I get that.
truly good skill position players as well.
I agree. I agree with you. In Mountie with the offensive line. The offensive line obviously was better in San Fran with Trent Williams, Mike McGlincock, whatever, in the right tackle. I forgot his name. I'm sorry. I butchered his name, guys. But here's the thing. I believe that if you do bring in a guy like Sean Payton, it's Jimmy Johnson all over again. Because the problem we had with Jimmy was he could never build an offense, but the same thing before is he never built an offense, he always built a defense. And that was the biggest issue with Jimmy. It's just another Jimmy hire again. McDaniel. I'm sorry, Larry.
What do you mean
Go ahead.
Because Mike McDaniel, I believe, has done a hell of a job with what he has to work with the last couple of weeks. You know, I believe we have our guy in place.
I'm not giving up on him. Yeah, I want to see how the season plays out.
Well, okay. I'm having a hard. Well, look. Like I say, I respect everybody's opinion. I may not agree or understand, but I respect your opinion. Can somebody tell me how many points are we averaging a game?
Yeah, but
20.6.
But Mountie,
with this roster, we should be averaging at a minimum probably 28 points every game.
Yes,
but
does
it should be 28 easily.
The quarterback injuries figure into that.
Yes,
not just the one,
exactly,
but every
Larry.
game. Does that figure in? It's gotta.
Of course, it's got to figure into that.
Entirely. That's over the entire duration.
They're on their third string tackles, and they went to the third string quarterback. It is very hard to win in the NFL when
who's on their third string tackles?
The Dolphins are on their third string tackles with Brandon Snell, Greg Little, and it's hard to win in the NFL like that.
And I get it.
Greg Little has had a lot of time in preseason. He's been getting a lot of snaps, anticipating that Terran Armstead wasn't going to play. So you can't really excuse him because he's gotten a lot of time and a lot of reps. So Greg Little is technically a starter.
So I gotta run the tape back. Okay, then if that's the case, you say it's hard to win. So how do you justify not using Gesicki at all?
I don't. I've been beating that drum, bro.
How do you not? Gesicki should have killed the Jets. Killed the Jets.
Yes.
We should have killed Cincinnati. Gesicki would have ate all day long. Yeah. Those corner routes,
you
those
got to
9 balls
for him.
You also got to figure sometimes Gesicki just disappears. Gesicki just disappears.
That's because they don't.
Because I think he's frustrated.
They don't even play him.
The problem with Gesicki is this, and I've noticed this since the day he was drafted. The problem is he has a hard time getting separation, and from the defenders, he really does have a hard time.
But you think about it.
He's got a catch radius bigger than.
But you got to think about.
How you going to say that?
But you got to think about when you're 6'7" and you got a 12-foot vertical leap or something like that. How much separation do you really need?
Exactly, you don't.
Not much if you got good hands.
That's what, and he's big.
Only if your hands are good. That's
just like it reminds me as far as pass catching. It's pass catching. How fast do you think? How fast and how much separation do you think Antonio Gates got? Not very much.
Right. Gesicki
he just hit big hands and he can just get open.
He had okay hands. It's not
Antonio Gates.
No, he has good hands, bro. He has good hands. Come on,
Dallas Goedert should have been a pick over Gesicki.
I don't know.
Dallas Goedert should have been.
It's hard for me
in the mid round. Alex, what you mean he should have been a pick?
Dallas Goedert would have been a better pick than Gesicki would have been.
Actually, Dallas Goedert got picked after Gesicki.
Yeah, he did. He did get picked after Gesicki.
He did. Yeah. But I'm having a really, really, really hard time as to why we're not targeting Gesicki. Like I don't get it. And then you want to target Tyreek Hill, 15, 20 times a game. Like it's starting to make me think, is he really driving the offense?
No, I know what
you're saying. Throw me the damn ball.
He actually is, Mountie.
I think
technically actually is.
Like, fuck everybody else, throw me the fucking ball.
I don't think that's what he's doing. I think he's just that damn good and he's reliable. They throw it to him. He seems like more of a team player than I would even anticipate. The dude is a warrior. I think the coaches, as evidenced by the tight end coach.
Without Tyreek? We would be 0-6.
We would be worse.
I mean, I'm not saying he's not a game changer. However, when you have that kind of speed on the outside, the middle of the field's got to be wide open.
Dude,
wide open.
Should be running seam routes all day, but
seam routes, corner routes,
because he can't block. Meanwhile, we don't beat the Ravens without him scoring a touchdown. We don't even come close against the Vikings without him. He is being. I think if you're going to be critical of this coaching staff, especially their offensive prowess and developing a system to suit their personnel, you have to
have
point
balance.
to Gesicki. Yeah, you have to. It's a legitimate criticism. Now they got him involved last week. Did they continue to get him involved? I want to see.
I think he's going to get more.
balance between the receivers.
But I think what you have to do is this. You have to. He's not a tight end. Obviously, he's not a tight end. I'd say
He's
that
a
right
tweener.
now.
He's a tweener.
He should be in the slot.
Yeah.
Cedric Wilson should be on the bench, and your 3 wide receivers should be Hill, Waddle, and Gesicki.
I can see that.
Going forward. That's what I think. Sorry, guys.
Well, but
they
you
were smart,
I'm on my way to.
but
I'm on my
they're
way
not
to
guys-
gonna do that,
with my
Alex.
family,
You know that.
so-
But you
I'm on my way to
remember
dinner
why
with
they
my family,
didn't do that, right? Well, they didn't want to fight that battle with his his position, because they say, well, if we make him a
franchise
receiver, if we
gotta
make
pay
him
him
a
receiver
receiver,
money.
yeah,
You gotta
exactly.
pay him money. You got to pay him receiver money.
Yes. Lakers,
But-
what up, man? You didn't get to speak yet.
But they can disguise
What's up,
that.
man?
What's up,
Hey, what's up,
Lakers?
Larry? What's up?
Hey, Lakers, how you doing, man?
Hey, listen, okay, so my sister and her boyfriend, right, they went to the game this Sunday, so, and when they came back, they told me that Skylar Thompson looks good. They said that our offense, all they was doing was just passing to Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
And when y'all was talking about Mike McDaniels, I feel like we made a mistake, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, we made a mistake. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, he's like a first-year head coach. This is his first time coaching a team, you know what I'm saying, of, like, men. And if you realize it, like you know what I'm saying, just like somebody was talking about Brian Flores and, you know what I'm saying, fundamentals, right? That's a real coach, you know what I'm saying? A coach that's going to talk about fundamentals and do the right thing and don't mess up and don't make penalties, right?
Yes.
That's the coach that we need and that we should have never fired. You feel me? And yeah, but I mean, like, we should have never even hired Mike McDaniels because he's not even a coach, bro.
Well,
Mike
listen,
McDaniels
hey,
is a
I would have
coach.
been, I would have been
Mike
that, I
McDaniels
would
is a
have been
good
the.
coach.
No,
Well, I'm not
no,
saying
no,
he's
no.
not. I'm not saying he's
I'm
not. But I
saying
tell you
he
what, show me where Mike McDaniels has solely run an offense without Kyle Shanahan. Where has he? How has his
Not
offense?
solely. He said
Exactly.
our offense was the first one. He said this is his first one.
Exactly.
He
Exactly.
was calling
How-
plays in San Fran.
Well,
Yeah,
No,
but he's not a
Shanahan
head
still
coach.
called the plays.
Shanahan called. Shanahan. Dude, there was besties. They were
Because
besties.
wasn't he the run game coordinator or was he the OC? I don't
Yeah.
remember.
Run game
Well,
coordinator.
a beat writer
He coordinated
for
the
San
run
Fran-
scheme.
A beat writer for San Fran
But
said that
Shanahan
he was
still
calling
called the
plays.
plays
Hold
on
on, hold on.
play-by-play and situational football.
Thank you,
A
Crypto.
beat
And then
writer
who was
for-
saying the beat writer thing? Alex, you?
I was, yeah.
Okay, what
A
were
beat
you
writer
saying?
for a beat writer for San Fran was saying that he called the plays.
Okay.
No, all right.
We don't really know.
All right, let me step in real quick. Let me put my camera on.
Yeah, get your camera. What are we doing here? we need to see that fly ass shirt, bro. We need
I
the
know the
swag,
Hawaiian
man.
tour. He got his
Yeah.
tour lay on. He's got his
Yeah,
tour
yo,
jersey on.
that's what we need, bro. It's 2 a week, bro. It's 2 a time. That's why he's got that on. Shoot.
Well, number one, he was the offensive coordinator because Kyle Shanahan made him the offensive coordinator. That's why he was able to block him from coming to Miami because it would have been a lateral move. So that's why he made him the offensive coordinator in San Francisco.
Oh, okay, I see. It was to keep him from coming to Miami. He did that.
And number two,
I got you.
he did call
All
plays,
right,
but at
guys.
the
I'll
same
talk to you guys
time,
later.
all right,
Later,
Alex.
Talk to you guys later. I gotta go to
All
dinner.
right.
Later.
Here's what
Later,
happened.
guys.
All right, listen. He'll call the plays, and what we would do is Kyle Shanahan would say, "All right, listen, we're gonna do a run play." This and Kyle Shanahan would say, "You know what? I don't like that play. I'm gonna call something else." So at the end of the day, he would give him input, but it wasn't.
Kyle Shanahan was his QC.
Yeah, would give the yay or nay rather thing. So he would call plays, give him suggestions. He had the final say on what offensive.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. See, when you're not the guy, when you're not the sole guy, it's kind of hard to assess where your skill level and acumen are.
Right. I agree with that. That's why we had
Yeah,
trouble with Philbin and some other guys when they weren't.
Yeah, in Green Bay, exactly. You're right. That was the same stick 'em in the Green Bay.
You can't have two You can't have two the same district man. The same district filling the same job. Like it's hard to assess who's doing what.
No, you're right, and that's why we're not really sure. And we're seeing now. I think what's maybe most troubling to me, to be honest with you, and I'm not even sure that I dislike McDaniel, that he's a failure. I'm really not. I want to see to the end of the season, but I will say something that concerns me is that the run game only recently got productive, but it wasn't that productive or creative. And I'm wondering, he was supposed to be a run game guru, brings in his guys, Edmund and Mostert. Mostert looks good. Edmonds is okay. And I'm just wondering, when's that going to come in? Because imagine Tua with an elite running game at his disposal to take pressure off him and to kind of get the defense on their heels. I'm concerned that the running game hasn't been as stellar as it should be, from a run game guru. It's just interesting to me.
Hey, I know. Was it last week where Mostert had 100 and I don't know how many yards he had? And we abandoned the run. Right. We abandoned the run. Like he should, Mostert or whomever else, if we're gonna run it by committee, we should be running the ball 25, 30 times every game.
Right.
But it seems like, I guess we gotta satisfy Tyreek Hill's appetite for 60-yard fucking bombs down the field, pass attempts. I get it. We're paying the guy $30 million, and then see a lot of people are missing the fact. Look, Tyreek Hill. This is arguably probably maybe his last contract. Premier money. This guy's probably got Hall of Fame aspirations. So he's going to want the ball. He's got his ring. He's got his money. Now he wants his gold coat.
I can see it. I just don't know if he's driving that or if they're driving that because he's such an asset. I haven't heard anything reported that he is, demanding the ball or that he is, dissatisfied. I don't know if he is or not. What you say makes sense. I just don't know if that's going on with him or not, or if they're just feeding him because he's just that good of a player that you got to hit the ball in his hands. I don't know. And I see Greg has.
No, it's Tyreek Hill's gravity that's doing it.
Yeah.
It's what he did. His resume is what's demanding it, basically.
That's what I'm
I don't think
thinking,
he's verbally demanding it.
That's what I'm saying.
So he is as a player.
I agree with
that. They feel obligated. Yeah, they feel obligated to distribute it to him more.
I could 100%.
Especially with the money that they paying him.
Yes, I could 100% see that.
You don't want $130 million cigar store mannequin. That's not what he's paid to do.
Right, bro. He's not.
Yeah, man, trust me. It's just like if Stephen Curry came to whatever basketball team, Steph Curry came to whatever basketball is, they're going to feed him to get three. When he's open for the 3 points, they're going to make him try to give him the 3-point looks because that's what he's.
Good point.
Right.
Good point, Shake Money, because that's a perfect analogy because they're going to say Warriors are not going to automatically just start posting up the ball 50 times a game because Curry is on the roster.
Right, bro.
Doesn't work that way.
My Lakers did that. My Lakers did that, and look where we at now.
Yeah, but you're talking about. But I understand the analogy, but I think in this context we're talking about apples and oranges because there's a different element on offense to football. There's a run game and a pass game.
It's the same way in basketball. It's a low post game with Elijah Wan and a one shooter game with Steve Curry.
But we've been away from we've gone away from that for years.
Game. And we've gone away from the run game for years too.
Yeah, I don't know.
The passing ratio. Let me give you a number. There's only been 3 teams that's won the Super Bowl in the last 2 decades that ran the ball more than they passed the ball. 17 of the last 20 champions have threw the ball more than they ran. That's just a trend.
Yeah, I think we're gonna.
You can't force a square peg into a round hole. If the trend in the league has made it easier for you to throw it, especially if you can't touch a quarterback nowadays, you cough on them, it's going to be a penalty. They make it so easy to throw the ball, then people are going to scheme to throw the ball because that's what they
Within the last few years,
you can't touch the wide receivers nowadays.
The what? Because see what it is.
Running
It's
backs
all
ain't getting big paychecks. Quarterbacks and receivers.
Oh yeah, because it's all driven around revenue. See, they want high scoring offenses. You get that from the passing game
And that's
and
what
all
they're
that
going to
shit.
get for the next. We're not going back to the days of Larry Zonka. He's not coming out of that locker room anytime soon. It's just not happening.
No, we know that he's not. And I think, look, you got to pass the ball to Tyreek to open up Waddle, to open up some of the other weapons, and to open up the run game. I mean, they're going to key in on Tyreek at a certain point, and we're going to be able to do that. What up, Iceman? How you doing, Iceman? Thanks for coming on to the show. But, I mean, you know, you got to use your weapon. We're using our weapon. But we also, the first couple games, we threw a lot to Tyreek, and then we went to Waddle all of a sudden, and Waddle was killing it. And then all of a sudden we go back to Tyreek, and now we bring out Gesicki. I mean, I'm not against that type of emphasis. Like, make them stop Tyreek. Until they sell out to stop Tyreek, we're going to feed Tyreek. And then once you sell out to stop Tyreek, now we're going to go to our other weapons. I mean, I understand that as a strategy, and I understand. So has anybody ever considered? Yeah, we know Tyreek Hill is a phenom. He's an amazing athlete. But has we ever considered? You know, look, we're throwing him the ball. We're getting him the ball all year. Now, should we get to the playoffs? Now he's banged up or hurt or for overusage. No, I agree with that too. Yeah, and that's now
I won't say that overusage. I mean, he's an NFL athlete getting paid millions of dollars to keep his body in shape to have endurance. He hasn't shown over his career to be injury riddled. He was high usage in Kansas City.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I really like. I'll be honest with you. I've seen a lot of diva receivers, and when I was in high school, could have been one too. But I'll tell you what, man. Tyreek Hill seems like a legitimate team player, a dude who really is works hard, durable.
He's a physical specimen.
Yeah, man, I like it, bro. He plays that possession ball, that long ball. That he reminds me of Waddle, but with better hands, bro. Like, I feel like I ain't mad they're feeding him, bro. They can feed him every play. I really ain't gonna be mad at it. Shit.
He's not injury prone.
No, he's getting us first downs. He's moving the chain. I mean, I got no problem with them throwing to him. I just want them to also use Gesicki and also scheme this run game a little better to help him out, get open a little better and a little more space. But shoot, I'm not mad about it.
And you want to hear a fun fact? Tyreek Hill by himself has more receiving yards than Kirk Cousins has passing yards.
That's amazing. That's incredible. I believe it too. Kirk Cousins pedestrian, man.
Probably Zach Wilson too. He checked that one. It's probably Zach got more than Zach too.
Definitely, bro. Zach threw like for 10 passes in that Jets win. It was all Breece Hall just running over.
Yep, it's Breece Hall.
Same thing with us too, bro.
It was him catching out the backfield. That big 80-yard catch he had.
Yeah, Breece is balling.
That was all 8 yards.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, Breece is balling both the last.
He's
2
good.
weeks. He really is good.
Wish we could have got him.
Pre-draft, everybody in Miami wanted him.
Yeah, he's a good player.
It's him
Pre-draft.
Kenneth Walker.
But this regime does not believe in 2 things, bro. They do not believe in bell cow running backs, and they do not believe in investing a ton in the offensive line for some reason.
Oh my God!
They just don't believe. Right. Chris Greer's philosophy is a platoon running attack. He is not going to invest a high pick on the running back. Now, we could agree or disagree on that because just like Crypto said, it's a different NFL. They emphasize passing, but if you look at a guy like Breece Hall, you can't say he's not helping the Jets, you know. So it's an interesting thing, but I just feel like Chris Greer is never going to do it. He's never going to go for that bell cow back for better or worse.
True.
If I can point on the old one, I believe I said it on the channel at the start of the season, but Terrell at left tackle, who at center, and then on the right tackle put Hunter Jackson or Liam Eichenberg. I do not know why Liam Eichenberg is playing guard. He sucks.
He's terrible.
I believe at Notre Dame, I was looking up something about his highlights. He was playing left tackle, and he looked pretty solid. I don't know why we are moving up
I don't know why we're moving him to guard either. And then Cap's saying he wants Kenneth Walker. And Greg, you're like cutting out.
What, me?
Yeah.
Check.
We can see your face, but your voice is cutting out.
Check 1, 2. Can you hear me?
Yeah, but it's a little blurry. Keep
All
going.
right, I'll rejoin. I'll come back.
All right. Yeah, because I want to hear what he was saying about the line. Because honestly, bro, Eichenberg has been a liability to say the least. He's been a serious liability. The dude just cannot play guard at any type of high level whatsoever. It's been.
I'm concerned. Like Hey, who heard that comment about Mike McDaniel? I don't know. I don't know how recent it was. I think it was today or either yesterday when a beat writer or somebody asked McDaniels about the pertinence of Tua coming back and was he going to start him or this, that, and the other. He said, "Look, we have quarterbacks on this team that are very capable of, he says, first of all, Tua does a lot of things well. He can do this, he can do that. But we're totally capable in all our other quarterbacks. This is not the Tua Dolphins."
He said that, yeah.
I was like, whoa.
He said that.
I was like, whoa, all right, Mike McDaniel's getting some nuts now. Because he used to, I mean, I'm telling you, he used to coddle Tua. Oh my God, we had the school circle around him.
But I think today, too, though, he said, they were like, what's Tua coming back going to do? And he said, look, he's a very good player at that position. He's a leader, blah, blah, blah. I think McDaniel just being real. He's not coddling him anymore. I think he's sick of the questions. I think he's just telling it like it is. I actually see McDaniel getting a little more mature, to be honest with you, dare I say. A little less jokes, a little bit less, smirky, goofy stuff, a little bit more straight talk I've seen, to be honest with you. Which I've appreciated.
Who in the room is nervous for Tua to come back, especially against Pittsburgh?
Bro, I ain't even nervous.
This game, I would have to say I'm a little nervous, Mountie. But the next game, I'm not as nervous because I think Pittsburgh's aggressiveness on their front four is what worries me. And that can be a collapse on the offensive line. And it could be, if he holds on the ball second late, we could be in a situation where we just biting our tongues.
And you know what? And one thing, Monty, the same thing you said about Kyle Shanahan, you could say the same thing about Josh Boyer. He's trying to come into his own too. He helped scheme the defense that Brian Flores deployed in 2021 and in 2020. So at the end of the day, I think he himself is trying to get a little confidence to become his own man. You know what I mean? He relied on Brian Flores when he was calling plays. So this time he doesn't have that shoulder to lean on.
Yeah, hey, that's good, man. Establishing your own identity. He needs
to do that. Yeah.
Establishing your own footprint, and I get it. He's got to build his resume and not riding the coattail of someone else. But look, I just need that. I just need this offense to step up. X made that comment. He said, "Hell, it's going to be hard to win games when we don't score points."
Right.
Yeah, but that's what X said. That's what keep people in the seats.
But hey, yeah. So But hey, X has got to point a finger at himself. He's giving up some touchdowns. So
he's actually giving them up too. So yeah, he's got it.
So he's got to point those fingers at himself.
That's true. He is getting roasted out there.
Yeah, I mean, he really he's got to get some turnovers, too. That's his job, too, as a turnover playmaker. He hasn't been getting those turnovers. And now they're not going to come all the time, but he's got to get them. I mean, his role is less of a cover corner and more of a turnover, playmaker. We need him to do that. But I'm not mad at him for calling them out. I mean, they deserve it. The last two games we could have won if the offense just did a little bit. The defense rose to the occasion, and they did not play complimentary football. So I don't have any problem with him saying it. He's one of the captains. I think he's high up there. He can say it. I mean, it needs to be said.
Yeah. So. He earned it. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Hey, should we? Should we? Well, it's. I guess it's clear and evident that we're going to move on from Byron Jones at the end of the year.
Right.
However, I think we need to look. I think we need to look to and move in Ogba. I swear, honest to God, that's just my opinion. I think he's. I think we need speed on the outside. We need speed, and I think, I mean, listen, I think Christian Wilkins is our best defensive lineman by far.
Yeah,
he can play anywhere. But he's quicker than Ogba off the corner. When he plays defensive end, he collapses the pocket. Like he makes a quarterback step up.
Yeah, he's a good player. I mean, Ogba was too. I mean, look, you can get value for him, and you think he's lost a step, you go ahead and do it. But, I got to think that part of the defensive struggles, especially when it comes to pressure on the quarterback, has to do with our secondary being so depleted because the way you call the way you call a defense and the way you dedicate people to help and whatnot in the secondary dictate some of the ways we could put pressure on the quarterbacks. This defense is designed to be a ball-hawking, playmaking, play from the lead, get after the quarterback type defense. And when they're running the ball, sustaining it in these defensive struggles, and we have a depleted secondary, we're just not going to be playing the defense that we were designed to play. And maybe we should switch it up a little bit, or maybe we should start getting points on the board again the way we were supposed to with this offense. But either way, I think that has something to do with Agba's play. Some of these other guys, Phillips, when Phillips has to guard the run and these little pooch passes out everywhere, it's not good for him. He wants to pin his ears back and go after the quarterback because they're behind and the other team needs to come back. We're not playing at that level right now. We're not playing the defense we want. It's hurting us. I think it has a lot to do with injuries and the way we've been playing offensive ball, pedestrian.
Yeah, we need to start playing from ahead.
That's what they're designed to do, bro. You see, when we get
5 of the
one
last
touchdown,
6 games, you know, we trailed in, and it's crazy. I don't think people notice this. I don't know if this is a record as far as coin tosses. We've won every coin toss this season.
That's crazy. I didn't even know that.
6 straight.
Bro, that's crazy. And somebody said last week, and I agree because I was at the Cincinnati game, we should have taken the ball in that game because the crowd was through the roof, and we really should have shut them up with points. We had a good drive. Edmonds dropped the ball in the end zone, but we could have gone down the field that way to start the game and quieted them down. We gave them the ball. They go down and
on
drive.
them. Yeah, exactly.
Bro, not a good way to start that game. And who knows if Tua
we always playing catch up.
Yeah, and who knows if Tua doesn't press and get himself hurt if we start from ahead. Just saying, man.
Versus being always trailing.
Yeah, and I love deferring. Yes, I love deferring, but it should be game by game, bro. Certain games, take the ball, get the lead, let the defense pin its ears back a little bit. Let the other team press for once. Let them feel urgency for once, you know?
Right, exactly.
New England Patriots is always deferring, right? And I'll never forget one year, it was an overtime game, right? And Patriots won the toss, and out of habit, the captain says, we want to kick. And he's like, no, we want to. No, he goes, I'm too late.
Right, yeah. I believe it, bro. That's because he's so used to it. I believe it. Now, Greg, what were you saying about your line? What was your proposed O-line?
So, at the start of the year, I was saying put Terrell Armstead at left tackle, Connor Williams at left guard, Michael Dieter at center. On right guard or right tackle, put Austin Jackson or Robert Hunt or Liam Eichenberg at right tackle. Something like that, one of those combinations. If Liam Eichenberg wasn't going to start backup. Because Liam Eichenberg at guard sucks. I think at tackle, he was better. I was watching some of his Notre Dame highlights. He was playing tackle and he looked solid. I mean, even as a backup, I think he would have been solid if Armstead were to go down or Jackson or Hunt were to go down. Because he had guard, man. It's just like every play, it seems like Liam Eichenberg is giving up the pass rusher, and it's like, come on. I know Liam Eichenberg, he's a second-round pick. I believe in him. I'm not giving him up on him yet. Just like Noah, I'm not giving up on him. But I would have preferred. I don't know why on the offensive line we're shuffling guys around. Like why? Like Liam Eichenberg should have stayed at tackle, and I think we wouldn't be complaining about him as much.
No, I agree. I actually think because been playing decent at center right now. Why not put Dieter in at guard for Eichenberg and just make Eichenberg a backup tackle since we were so banged up at tackle anyway? What is this experiment where they're just desperately trying to keep him on the field? He's obviously a liability at that position. Just put Dieter in, who's proved at least serviceable, and now you got 2 solid guards, you got 2 solid tackles, and if one of them goes down, put Eichenberg in as the backup. Tackle's his natural position. I can't disagree with you. And teams get stubborn sometimes when they draft guys with this O-line monopoly. A lot of teams do this. They're like, we want to find the best 5 guys, and then we'll mix them up and see where they fit. It's like, well, maybe they're not 5 guys that are just interchangeable. Some guys are interchangeable. Right. Some guys are not. Some guys are tackles or guards. Some guys are left tackles or left guards or right tackles. So, there's guys that are better at sides of the field than
just one position, right?
Yeah, you can't just say, 5 best and just mix them all up whatever we want. Take Eichenberg out of guard. Sometimes you can, but every team wants to do that now, and I'm like, I don't agree with it with certain players. Like Hunt, maybe you could move Hunt around, Dieter, maybe you can move him around. But not Eichenberg, bro. He's not doing well at guard. This experiment has failed.
Yeah,
okay?
He's a tackle. Eichenberg is a tackle.
And then on top of that, he can't pull at all.
Yes.
Mike McDaniel's running game calls. Mike
Yes.
McDaniel's running game calls for pulling guard, for power
Yes.
and all that sweeps and stuff.
Yes.
He can't pull.
Yes.
Even in preseason, why is this motherfucker on the
Yes.
ground on a pull?
Yes. Yes.
I'm like, damn, dude, what do you
Well,
got?
he has been pancaked twice on the one pass from Skyler. Is either him or Little got pancaked, and it caused the interception.
Yes.
And it's just
I'm
terrible.
like, damn. I'm like, Eichenberg, you're getting put on your ass by rookies, by fucking guys that are gonna be working at Walmart. Like, what the fuck?
He's on his ass every play, bro. Pretty much. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to knock the kid. He's a decent tackle, but guard is not for him. You got serviceable dudes, man. What are we doing?
Doesn't he have a brother in Notre Dame too? That's coming
Dieter
out.
should be a guard, actually.
He's at Ohio.
Dieter should be, right? That's what I'm saying.
His brother's
Eichenberg's got a brother, right?
Yeah, from Ohio State.
Okay, yeah.
Linebacker.
Oh, he's in college now, or he's coming out?
Yeah, I believe he's a senior, so he'd be eligible for the draft.
One thing that people don't realize too is when you're a guard, you got to be a lot stronger than a tackle because at the end of the day, those defensive tackles are 10 times stronger than any defensive end. You look at freaking Aaron Donald. You look at Brandon, the guy from Fletcher Cox. These guys are big, huge guys. You're going against defensive tackles, not defensive ends. There's very few defensive ends that are like powerhouses. Maybe Cameron Wake was one of them, but at the end of the day, they're not strong. They're more finesse guys, which I think Eichenberg is more of a fast finesse guy with a better twitch.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, those damn pesky Jets defensive ends was giving Greg Little problems. Dude, they were throwing his ass around like a rag doll. He was like a rag doll.
Just bullying. They was playing bully with him.
It was like Quentin. What's his name? Quentin
Williams.
Yeah, there you go. That dude was throwing Greg Little ass around like it was like, dude, get out of here.
Yeah, Williams is good. You're gonna
But
have
Williams
to go
is a defensive tackle though. He's a tackle. He's not hard. I mean,
well, I tell you what, he's like Christian
He's
Williams. Wilkins.
Yeah.
Well, he can move around. See, that's what I'm saying.
And you know what's funny
Wilkins
is
real mobile.
When I seen an interview with Christian Wilkins, in the interview, this is the official Dolphins site. They have him listed as a defensive end and not a defensive tackle.
Well, because think about it. You got a 3-4, don't we? We're
3-4.
You got a nose tackle, so he's an end because it's a 3. He's a tackle, but he's really an end in that defense because we only have one nose tackle. So you got 2 ends. It's like that's why Phillips is outside linebacker, but he's so small. But that's why he gets caught up in coverage and trying to cover the edge because he's an outside linebacker, not a defensive end. Because we're running that 3-4, not a 4-3. So he's going to be as an end, even though he's.
We need to run a 4-3.
We need to run a 4-3.
Base like the Giants back in that Super Bowl when they harassed the Patriots offensive line, just dismantled them. That's the kind of front four we need.
It depends though too.
A line like that.
Then Wilkins slides inside, in that, and Raekwon is kind of, we kind of drafted the personnel for that 3-4 because Phillips now can he function with his hand in the dirt? You know what I'm saying? Like it just.
But that's where he made his bones in, and that's where he made his money in UM, putting his hand in the dirt.
Okay, so maybe so then. Maybe we should switch it up more, or at least run a hybrid system or something then. Because
as a matter of fact, Raekwon Davis reminds me a lot of Daryl Gardner.
Yeah, remember Gardner, bro. Remember Bowens and Gardner?
Dude, that was a beast.
That was fun, bro.
Yeah.
I miss those days.
You couldn't run up the middle.
Yeah, that was fun,
nope.
bro. That
was they were running that 4-3 back then.
That was 4-3, bro. That was.
And then when you got Zach Thomas, like, dude, he was a beast.
Yeah, bro, that was fun. I mean, I remember those days. They clogged up that middle, bro. You weren't doing anything.
Who remember that game when Zach Thomas knocked out Sean Jefferson?
I remember.
That was preseason.
Yeah.
Preseason.
Oh no! I remember that shit. He was out.
Trace Armstrong. We had dudes that just went in and just played well, and they pinned their ears back, man. They made some plays for us. Those defenses were fun, man. It's like every couple of years, teams switch from 4-3 to 3-4 and 3-4 to 4-3, and it regalvanizes them, and then they switch back. I don't know. It's just something that goes on.
Yeah, when Nick Saban, that's his name, was here, he ran a 3-4, and he had Jason Taylor as an outside linebacker.
Yes.
Hey, but
no, Jason Taylor had a
noticed,
good season as an OLB, bro, as an outside linebacker. He had a couple.
Well, he's got because he's on that. He's on Jason Taylor and Jalen Phillips are kind of the same mold.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Kind of tall, strong, fast.
Agreed. That's why last year Phillips looked very promising, man. I hope he returns.
And when they brought in, and I remember when they brought in Cameron Wake during the era under Sperano and you know, and during Philbin, they ran a more of a wide nine because you know, Cameron Wake was great when he was, you know, outside of the tackle on the wide left shoulder tackle, bro. And he would get a great burst.
Yes.
Whenever he would go, you know, run against the tackle, and he was so fast, bro.
Yes.
Right, and he was so fast, and tacklers couldn't get it. You know, they couldn't close off the edge, and you know, your quarterback would end up on the ground.
Yeah, but I would like to see Phillips line up like that a little bit. Something I know he's not as big, but I don't know. Like I don't know if his burst is the same, but
Phillips. The thing is, he's more of a, I don't know. He's
not.
I don't know. He's like too lean.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is.
Wake is bigger than him for damn sure.
Yeah, he's a little bit lean, and he doesn't have the arsenal pass rushing moves that Jason Taylor had, or you know, Cameron Wake did. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he's not he's not that wide nine guy. He's more of a 4-3 edge type of guy.
True.
Mm-hmm. So, you know, with hands in the dirt. But Miami used to use him in a 4-3 as well as a 3-tech outside, you know, which is the right shoulder of the guard. Mm-hmm. And they used to use him in the run game that way too. So, yeah, I haven't seen Miami use him in that way. They use him more as like an outside linebacker, dropping back in coverage in a 3-4 or as a 4-3 edge.
I'm not sure that's his best strength either, how we're using him with the coverage stuff.
No, it's getting after the quarterback.
Yeah, dude, that's where he should be. And if they have to,
and
he's a specialist, do it. You know,
right? And he's a guy that he's a guy that succeeds when other guys around him succeed. Like he's not a guy that organically creates his own pass rush by himself and wins one-on-one battles. Like if Emmanuel Ogba's, you know, clicking, and he's got his engine going, and you know, and Melvin Ingram is off the edge. That's when Jalen Phillips starts to, you know, to cook, when he starts putting pressure on the quarterback. So.
No, you're right. You're 100% right in all of that analysis, bro. And it makes a lot of sense. And I hope he comes into his own and we start using him properly because I think he has the talent. But the way we've been kind of misusing him, using him here but not there, I don't know. It's just it hasn't been great for his development, I don't think, and his impact on the team. But again, goes into situational football too. We're not pinning our ears back in general because of the way the games are going. You know, so he's out there. It's just. Remember when Wake dropped back the one time, really threw him for a loop and had that pick? Who was that against? Was that against the Jets? I remember he dropped back into coverage out of nowhere, Wake, and he got an interception. That was dope.
That was the Jets. Yeah, I think it was the Jets. Yeah.
That was a great that was
I think it was in New York, I think. If
might
I'm
have
not
been.
mistaken.
That was a great I just remember that was a great play, man. But listen, we had a great conversation as always, guys. We're winding down here, so it's an hour and a half. I want to thank, you know, Crypto and Snapper for coming on the show, you know, because you guys haven't been on before.
You're very welcome.
Great convo. Come on again, man. Every Wednesday.
I've been on a couple of times before.
You've been on
when
this
you was
one?
on earlier. Yeah, I have.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a long time, but since I did.
Okay. Well, welcome back then, bro. It was a great conversation as always, man. Well, join us again. You know, every Wednesday at 7 we're on here. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna give everybody a final thought though, man. We'll start with you, Crypto, and we'll go around. Final thought, and let's hope we win this week, man. 2-a-time primetime game. But Crypto, what's your final thoughts, man?
No, thanks for having me on. Hopefully I can witness a win because we're in a drought. I was at the game. Well, actually, I was at the last 2 games in person, the one in Miami and in MetLife. So I won't be able to make it this week, but I'll definitely be in the comfort of my living room cheering them on. As always, I've been for the past almost 40 years. Well, actually, it was over 40. But yeah, it's crazy. The time flies. But yeah, we gotta get the W no matter who. Like I've been saying, it's best out of 1 for 3 hours for 17 games. We gotta win the 3-hour battle. That's what's ahead of us right now. The Steelers only, laser focus on the Steelers. That's what we're trying to do.
I'm with you, bro.
Got to get it done.
Got you. I'm with you.
Thank you for coming by, Crypto, by the way. I love
Oh,
this.
yeah, no problem, Shake.
Talk to you
Appreciate
soon,
it.
brother.
Exactly.
Later.
Yep.
Later, brother.
Have a good one, y'all.
Snapper, final thoughts.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on the show. It was a
Hey, no
great
problem.
panel.
Thanks for coming on.
Great time to talk ball with you guys. No, man. All we got to do is just stay disciplined. You know, remember the fundamentals and apply them every time we play, and and just execute just execute the game plan that our coaches ask of us as they want it. You know, and I think we should be fine. I think we should be fine. We stay on our P's and Q's, and we just don't make mistakes. Don't make those dumb mental mistakes that hold us back. And don't turn. If we protect the football and just put up points on the board, we should be fine against this team.
I hear you, bro, and I agree with you too, bro. Thanks for coming
Yep.
on once again, man. It was a great.
Hey,
addition.
thank you. Thank you.
All right, Mountie, final thoughts, bro.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! I need y'all to see me.
I see.
Listen, I'm concerned. I'm really, really, really concerned for Tua's safety. I just really hope I pray to God. I hope he gets it. That he can't rely solely on his arm. He has to use his head and get rid of the football. Okay. And I did a little math. I said, well, right now, I think had the playoffs started now, we're out. If I'm not mistaken,
Yeah,
we're
we
out.
are. Yep. Yes.
Because we're like number 8 or number 9.
Number
It's
9, I think.
seven
I think somebody
something.
said we're 9. Yep.
Yeah. So look, we can't really lose too many. We can't really lose too many more. Like I'd say 2 tops.
Yes.
Uh,
Games.
yeah. I mean, we've burned the midnight oil already, man. So look, fins up. We cannot beat ourselves. Penalties will kill our drives, and penalties will help sustain their drives.
Yep.
So we cannot beat ourselves. So again, I won't be able to make to the game. I got stuff going on, but I will be watching it on television. So, amen. Prayers to you guys as family. Blessings to you guys as family, and I'll see you guys later.
Blessings to you, Mountie, man. Go Fins. We'll talk to you very soon,
All right,
my
bro.
brother. Later. Greg, final thoughts.
Yeah, man. I just hope we can get this W. And, I haven't been excited, the past 3 weeks. I just want to get a W, relax, get the anger out and whatnot. This is not going to be an easy game. This is going to be a grueling battle. It's going to be a defensive game, man. I don't expect to see much offense. I think this is going to be a very defensive game. Can't wait to see Tua back in the field. I'm going to be honest with you. Every time he goes down, I'm going to be worried. I just hope he gets back up and keeps fighting because I know that's how Tua rolls. But I think the Dolphins are going to win. And if we lose, man, it's going to be time to press the panic button, man, because sitting at 3-4 in this tough AFC, it's going to be kind of tough to, make the playoffs. So we got to come out with a W, and I think we do. We're going to win 19-16.
I like it. I like it, Greg. Fins up. Get that anger out, my bro. We will talk to you soon, man. Fins up, bro. Later, brother.
Later.
Hey, what's going on? Hey, listen, I'm going to make mine short and sweet. By the way, I just got confirmation with CBA3. He couldn't make it because he had some errands, but he's going to be locked in for next week. CBA3. He's a good film guy. He used to play tight end for Howard University. He was a former coach, so I love his insights. But anyway, next week, if we win, I'm going to be popping this open. But unfortunately, we had a hurricane, so I couldn't pop it open. The game we were supposed to win for Buffalo.
Yes, yes.
And I'm going to bring back Shake Hefner, baby.
Yes.
Next week.
If we
All
win,
right?
I want it. We need Shake Hefner in here popping champagne, bro. That's what we need.
Shake Hefner next week, baby. Fins
better
up. Let's go, baby. And by the way, when you get a chance, hit me up later. I got a cool story to tell you, man. I want to tell you offline. Be safe, my brother.
All right, later, bro. All right, guys, if you have not done so yet, smash the subscribe button. It's right underneath me. Smash the like button. Share this video. Share this channel with your friends, man. We really appreciate all the love. We really appreciate all the support. I personally love and respect and really am thankful for everybody who joins these panels. You make the panels great. The panels are Fury Fam, man. That's what the panels are. It's just the listeners. It's the fans. We make the panels work. The panels are an awesome part of doing this and conducting this channel and running this channel. Unfortunately, we got this dude coming back this week. Gonna have to look at his mug, but hey, we'll survive. Fins up, man. I think we win this game. I think Tua comes back, man. I think Tua balls out. I think he's ready. I think he's determined. I think the team is going to be galvanized around him. It's Tua time, man. Fins up. I will talk to all you guys next week. And until then, man, just sit back and enjoy the ride, man. Tua's about to do what he's going to do.
I know you heard me on the radio flexing. She loved the sound